What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal.
I get this sense of satisfaction and fulfillment when I help the needy. And this is something that I didn't just start today. It's something I've been into a better part of my life, because the Bible says that whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And I believe in God, and I know that this world is a surgeon. So I want at the end of the day to go back home to my Creator, and that means making heaven. And I believe strongly that the things we're doing here will create that gateway.
Nothing seems to gladden the heart of Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano as much as uplifting the lots of the less privileged in our society, an act she has done for decades.
My wife and I used to helping the needy. This we've done for over 20 years. I remember clearly when my daughter, who is 22 now, was about 7 years. My wife would take her to meet the less privileged. She would always say, look, everybody's not as lucky as yourself. You need to see some people and see that life is not as easy as it appears. She would like to visit with my daughter to the less privileged. They will share the rice, give them clothes, and my daughter will come back excited that such a thing was going on.
Fondly called Osedieme, her passion for putting smiles on otherwise sad faces started years ago as a private citizen and has continued till date, complementing the various welfare programs of her husband, Chief Willie Obiano, the governor of Anambra State, through her foundation, the Caring Family Enhancement Initiative, CAFE. Within the 2 years of being Anambra's #1 lady, since Governor Obiano assumed office, Osodieme has not relented in helping the needy and has championed the education and empowerment of the less privileged in Anambra through her various empowerment programs. Deeply worried about the plight of indigent widows in the state, Mrs. Obiano instituted the CAFE housing for indigent widows. This is born out of the need to help the helpless by putting a roof over their heads.
I believe that if I give an indigent widow a roof over her head, I have actually met almost 90% of her needs, because you need a decent roof over your head to be able to think, well. That's the only time you can think properly of how you're going to help yourself, what you can do to support your children. So I felt that giving these women a roof over their heads would go a long way to solving their problems.
In Enugu to Aguleri, Anambra East local government area, octogenarian Mrs. Nnewowa Wajidonfo now lives in this beautiful bungalow built and donated by CAFE. Next to the new house, the relics of our mud house serves as a reminder of what was. The shortest link for now to this community is by crossing the Omambala River with this rickety pontoon. However, succor is on the way as the Obiano-led administration has embarked upon a road and bridges project that will provide safe passageway linking the major communities to the rest of the state to make the hassles of commuting to and fro Enugu to and environs a thing of the past. CAFE is also supporting the successful security program of her husband by building a police post in Mbunando. Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, on March 30, 2016, fulfilled her promise to a widow, late Mrs. Chidili Iwamalo, when she commissioned and handed over a 2-bedroom bungalow at Isuye Village, Umunya, Oyi local government area. Her Excellency was sad that the widow had passed on just before its completion. However, the house was handed over to the late widow's daughter-in-law, who ironically is also a widow. In Nri, another local government area, Mrs. Catherine Ibekwe, who lost her husband recently, reacting to her new house, says it is a dream come true. There are 10 numbers of houses built in the first phase of the CAFE housing project for indigent widows.
Is the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Osodieme has commissioned and handed over the completed ones in Agolo, Nri, Alo, Umunya, Enugu to Aguleri, Amici, Amoka, and Omunike, while others are still under construction across the 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State. The CAFE housing project for indigent widows is being funded by well-meaning individuals.
You know, when I started this thing privately, I use my 10% of my income. My husband also contributes, but as the wife of the governor, of course I don't have a constitutional office, so there's no any budget allocation to the wife of the governor. How I able to do these things is by, you know, what I get from philanthropists, from the good people of Anambra, people like Atoeze, Emeko for the Nest Oil guy, among others. A lot of people contribute whatever they can. In fact, thanks to people like Atoeze, we wouldn't have been able to achieve the widows housing project that we are doing at hand right now.
All the houses in the CAFE housing for indigent widows scheme come with a borehole, providing clean potable water that is also reticulated for use of the entire people in the community where the houses are located.
Beba balamiri na abagaria keke mo okada like na to do fu ba na jet blaka man kito odi sanyi so ndo bala anyi kita hika ba na bota million we million ni shwa na odi fa mana kita na million digba anyi so onye obuna bia okilikili ya bia bia na ba million ndi bi ku around mo obi ochari na ekene chineke ni bo ma meliba.
To promote hygiene in the community marketplaces, preserve the dignity of the rural women, and help forestall the incident of communicable airborne diseases, the CAFE Market Toilets Project is providing conveniences with a borehole. These structures include facilities for both female and male. These are being executed in select rural markets in communities across the 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State.
We have lots and lots of diseases kill innocent people. These are diseases, these are incidents, these are things that we can easily handle by doing what I'm doing right now. These are things we can cope by doing exactly what I'm doing right now, providing the, where people can ease themselves. I can assure you that by the time we have restrooms in virtually all the markets in our states and our country at large, you'll be able to bring down these infectious diseases. You improve the hygienic conditions of our people, thereby cutting down or total eradication of these diseases, these killer diseases that we can, conveniently and easily cope.
The first time she talked about it, I sat down and said, how did she get this inspiration, this vision? And how did she get to share this vision with people that are sponsoring the facilities? So I thought about using the word humanness. I didn't think it was enough. I thought about love, how lovely she is, how she radiates love to the people, because it's not easy for you to begin to think about other people and begin to do things out of the way for them. And I just like, maybe I should go back to the dictionary and find the correct adjective to describe who and what I see in her.
Osadieme exhibited her compassion and generosity when she was informed of the lack of clean potable water in Omase, Ayamelum local government area. The people, especially women, can be seen fetching unhealthy water for domestic use. Chief Ebele Chukwu Obiano swung into action and paid a visit to see things for herself. Moved by compassion, she ordered the installation of 4 boreholes in the community that are currently under construction.
Omasiono's case is a very pathetic one. And when I got there, I almost wept. People were just, you will see the cans, the line of cans, and I heard that they've now shared it that families or villages would, have dates or days that they fetch water. So I decided that I'm going to, stop that. Right now, they are constructing 4 boreholes there to, support these people. I mean, they are human beings. What is life without water? You need to drink water to live. You need to bathe to, to have a good life. You need water to cook. How do they exist? And that was what, spurred me to render my assistance.
It is on record that the wife of the governor of Anambra State, Chief Mrs. Ebele Chukwu Obiano, installed and commissioned a borehole in Basden Memorial Special Education Center in Isulo, Orumba South local government area, and was instrumental to having its structures upgraded. Another major achievement worth mentioning is the huge successes of the Cafe Skills Acquisition Program. Chief Mrs. Obiano's commitment to uplifting the fortunes of women at all levels is very well known across the state. Through Cafe, she is complementing the state's vocation program by providing skills training in tailoring and fashion designing, bakery and confectionery, soap making, hairdressing, cosmetology and beauty therapy, as well as community health services to promote self-health practices in hard-to-reach areas. After the training, the graduates are empowered with equipment in their chosen fields and also given seed money to take off and make a living.
I am a widow, so that was why I joined them, the trainees. After the training, she gave us a gas cooker a very big gas cooker with oven and cash to start the job. So, and the thing just gave me the zeal to start the job immediately. Since then, my children, they have entered school this session. But before, they were staying at home with me. But since I started this job now, they have started school again. And we are able to eat at least 3 square meals every day. Yes.
She is really Osodieme entirely. No, she's trying for many people, the widows that don't have anything doing, and those other people, the people that have husband but they don't have any handwork. As she gather us here, we are learning a lot from her, and for what we are learning, people will use it to grow, we use it to train our children, and we use it to reach our neighbors. I thank God for her efforts. She is trying for we, the people that don't have, the widows and people that don't have.
CAFE normally collaborate with us by giving us some quota, so being women from different communities who are in need of these skills. At the end of it all, the same CAFE empowers these women by giving them oven, machines, genset for their hairdressing and what have you. And so in terms of skill acquisition and empowerment, CAFE has really worked with the Ministry of Women Affairs to ensure that a certain percentage of Anambra women now can be economically independent.
Mrs. Obiano has put smiles on the faces of 25 children and adults with cleft lips and cleft palate abnormalities. Under the program, persons with congenital deformities are sponsored to free surgeries in collaboration with the Smile Train International. This has given the beneficiaries a sense of belonging in the society. Chief Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano's compassion and love for children comes to the fore on information of unwanted babies. As a standing instruction, Her Excellency's Foundation promptly rescues them and sends them to motherless babies' homes in the state where they receive qualitative health care and attention. CAFE has also continued to support various orphanages in the state through donations. Osodieme periodically conducts the women programs in the state, but more importantly, CAFE is tackling head-on the menace of malaria, which is the highest killer disease of children in Nigeria today. Mrs. Obiano frequently tours the state, visiting hospitals where she counsels pregnant women on the need to get proper antenatal treatment, partnering with United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA. CAFE gives out antenatal packs called Mama Kits. In the same vein, the physically challenged in Anambra State has benefited from the benevolence of CAFE, as Chief Mrs. Obiano sponsored a free prosthetic limbs clinic. Since the program was flagged off in December 2014, CAFE has positively improved the mobility of over 1,000 physically challenged persons who were given artificial limbs free. Also, CAFE periodically donates mobility aids like wheelchairs to the physically challenged in the state. Concerned about the vast number of the mentally challenged roaming the streets, Mrs. Obiano established a nursing home in Inteje, Oyi local government area. The center, which is run and managed by the wife of the governor through CAFE, in collaboration with the State Ministry of Social Development, Women and Children Affairs, had been handling 52 inmates, out of which 27 have been discharged, while the remaining ones are still being treated and rehabilitated with a view to returning them to their families at the shortest possible time.
It's an abandoned building that is being put to use by this administration, especially CAFE, again, the wife of the governor. And a lot of them, after 1 month or 2 months in the Inteje Rehabilitation Center, find their feet again. And a lot of them are rehabilitated to become tailors and to do other professions. It's a wonderful program. It's the kind of program you see from Reverend Fathers. But this woman is doing it and doing it flawlessly.
Mrs. Obiano is a mobilizer of women, especially those in the rural areas. This is demonstrated by the huge turnout of women, especially Umuada, each time she tours the 21 local government areas of the state on her advocacy visits, thanking them for their overwhelming support during the gubernatorial elections that made her husband the governor of Anambra State. Her uncommon love for the less privileged in our society stands her out as a rare gem worthy of emulation. As Her Excellency Chief Ebele Chukwu Obiano Osodieme labors to complement the efforts of her husband, Governor Willie Madabro Chukwu Obiano, she urges well-meaning Ndi Anambra and all people of goodwill to join hands with her in putting smiles on the faces of the less privileged.
The cafe, you must know, is a non-governmental body. You know, Anambra State government has nothing to do with cafe. The funding comes largely from Friends of Ndi Anambra. On my own, I put in my monthly salary as governor into cafe. I don't touch it. I just donate it to the less privileged.
I would like to use this opportunity to, plead with the good people of Anambra, the good people of Nigeria. It doesn't have to come from the Anambra alone for us to build Anambra. For the good people of Nigeria to help, support this my organization so we can better touch, lives.
Jide kiji ka ndị eluigwe na-echekwaba gị, ebere Chukwu mere anyị, ịbụrụ anyị nne, ịbụrụ anyị nne, oyoyo nne Chineke nyere anyị, ịbụrụ anyị nne, ịbụrụ anyị nne, oyoyo nne Chineke nyere ndị Anambra. Mụ na ezinụlọ m na-ekele gị, ọ ga-adịrị gị mma, ọ ga-adịrị gị mma, ọ ga-adịrị gị mma, ọ ga-adịrị gị mma. Chief Mrs. Ebere Chukwu Obiano.